Today, I'll show you how to make a vintage-inspired papier-mâché Easter bucket. Before we start, I'm going to tape down some wax paper on some plastic to create a work surface that the papier-mâché won't stick to. This is the papier-mâché I'll be using today. I haven't ever tried this before, but the directions say you just need to add some water and mix, so we'll see how it works. I noticed it is a little dusty to work with, so if you're using the same product, mix slowly to minimize the dust. Add water to the mixture until it's formable and easy to work with. If you add too much water, simply add more dry mix. I'm moving the papier-mâché dough to an airtight container while I work. I'll be using a balloon to create the papier-mâché structure on. So I'm just simply spreading the mixture over the balloon's surface. I noticed it was easier to press down small sections at a time, and then smooth each layer together with my thumbs. Once the balloon is about 2/3 covered, you can start forming the top edge. I'm just smoothing out the surface a little more with my fingers. Next, I'm going to start shaping a beak. I found a clay sculpting tool to be an easy way to attach and smooth this papier-mâché addition to the main structure. If your fingers or tools are sticking to the papier-mâché, simply dip them into water before continuing to work. Next, I'm going to smooth out some round, flat papier-mâché shapes to create cheeks on either side of the beak. Because the eye areas will have a little more detailed painting, I'm making sure to make them as smooth as I can. Texture across the surface, though, will add to the rustic character and vintage finished look. So the package says to let the papier-mâché dry for 1 to 2 days. Not gonna lie, I had to let it dry for 3 days before removing the balloon, and then let it sit for another day for the interior to dry. It took a little patience, but was definitely worth it in the end. Using a base color of a soft yellow chalk paint, I'm going to paint the bucket inside and out. Chalk paint usually is thick enough to only require 1 coat of paint. Once the base color is dry, I'm going to use some orange craft paint for the beak. I'm using a smaller flat brush for this step. Next, I'm going to paint 2 black dots for the interior of the eyes. Once both eyes are dry, using light blue chalk paint and a really fine tip brush, I'm going to outline the black dots. And when the blue dries, I'm going to use black paint to outline the blue line. This will make the blue stand out more. With the same color and brush, I'm going to paint a fine line coming outward from the top of the eye, and another on the other side. With brown craft paint, I'm going to paint a fine line outlining the beak. And I'm also going to paint 2 small dash lines on the beak. To create a sparkle in each eye, I'm going to apply a dot of white chalk paint on each eye. For this next step, I have a little water in a cup that I'm going to mix some brown craft paint into. This will create a slightly transparent, watery paint mixture. With the fine craft brush, I'm simply applying dash lines moving outward from the face shape. These lines should almost firework out from the beak of the bird, working around the eye shapes. These will add a subtle detail and texture. After the paint dries, using a watered mixture of pink paint, I'm going to brush on a subtle blush look on the bird's cheeks. I'm also going to apply a little more of the watered down brown paint mixture to the top edge of the bucket. With hot glue and light blue party streamer, I'm going to add some ruffles to the bottom of the bucket. I'm simply scrunching one side of the streamer and applying it to the bucket bottom with hot glue, using a clay sculpting tool to press the streamer to the hot glue. I'm going to continue this process until the ruffles go all around the base of the bucket, and then I'm going to add a few more layers. To make the ruffles move upward a little more, I'm going to apply some hot glue and press the streamer ruffles to it. To give the bottom a more finished appearance, I'm going to just cut out a circle of felt fabric and hot glue the circle to the bucket bottom. I wanted to give the ruffles a little more of a defined look, so using brown craft paint and a brush, I'm simply brushing over the ruffle edges. So next, to make a hole for the handles, I'm going to carefully poke a nail through each side of the bucket. After trimming a piece of wire, I'm just going to place each end through the holes in the bucket sides. And then bend the ends upward to hold them in place. After shaping the handle, the bucket is complete and ready to find a spot in our home.